One of the items I sold this week might actually be illegal to sell on eBay. I'm not sure. Tell me what you think, but in today's video, we're going to go through all of the items that I sold this week. We're going to look at the profit for every single item and all the details. We're also going to look at my eBay reports for this week, as well as my metrics. Let's get into it. Welcome to eBay with Chris. I am on a journey to build an eBay business from $0 to $3,000 monthly profit in just 12 months. In today's video, we're going to look at my results for the week of May 15th through May 21st. And we're going to sprinkle, not only are we going to look at my eBay reports, but we're going to sprinkle in some details about every single item that I sold this week. So let's start out with 5 items that I sold. Here we go. So here we have a skirt by Zach and Rachel. It's a size 12 skort, kind of a tennis skirt. This is actually the 3rd item that I ever listed in my eBay store. It has SKU number 003. And this buyer is all in for $27.12. And eBay paid me $15.86 for a profit of $13. And this was in my inventory for 4.5 months. Okay, the second item is a Danskin loose fit tank top, women's size small. This buyer is all in for $19.05, and eBay paid me $11.37 for a profit of $8. And this item was in my inventory for 3.5 months. This third item is a Torrid denim pants. They're actually jeggings or crop pants, some of the keywords that I use there. This buyer is all in for $26.11. eBay paid me $12.94 for a profit of $10. And this was in my inventory for 3 weeks. This item is an Echo Unlimited. It's a really thick, heavy-weighted hoodie. You know, Echo's not a brand that I normally pick up, but I just thought this was kind of a cool looking item. It did have a couple of stains on it, and it could be vintage. I wasn't quite sure, so I didn't say vintage in it. But this item, this buyer was all in for $39.46. eBay paid me $22.83 for a profit of $20. And this was in my inventory for 3 months. Here we have a Victoria's Secret sleep set, some pajama pants, has a kind of a tiger animal print on it. This buyer was all in for $23.89. eBay paid me $14.55 for a profit of $11. And this was in my inventory for 2.5 months. Okay, so now we're going to transition and we're going to look at my eBay reports. Here we go. Okay, so here's my eBay report for the week of May 15th through May 21st. You can see I sold 15 items this week, just an average of 2 items per day. Definitely lower than I am expecting at this point in my business, but that's okay. I think the following week we'll see some really good results, and then I'm excited to share with you. Total sales for this week was $445.82. You can see that's down almost 20% from the prior week. My selling costs were just $102.95, 23.1%. And typically my selling costs, which by the way, my selling costs include my eBay fees and my shipping fees, because I ship everything through eBay. So my selling costs include all of my shipping fees as well. But we'll dive into this because normally my selling costs are around 38%. And here we have 23%. So I believe there is an error in this report that we'll look into. So that's going to affect some of these numbers here, but this is the report that eBay gives me. So we're just going to go with these numbers for now. My net sales for the week, so what eBay paid me out, was $325.06. And you can see my average sales price was $29.72. Now my goal is to have an average sales price of $28 at least as a minimum. So I did exceed that because that's a good indicator. $28 is a good indicator that I'm getting $10 profit per item. I can typically plan on about $8 for the shipping fee and around $10 for other costs, for example, the cost of goods and just other expenses in my business, leaving me a profit of around $10 per item if my average sales price is at least $28. So that's a good sign. Okay, so let's get into the next chart. Okay, so here you can see my sales for the week. You can see I had good sales starting out on Monday the 15th, and then after that, for the rest of the week, it was just 1 or 2 items, less than $50 per day, until we got to Saturday, which was a good Saturday at $150 for that day. You can again see my total sales, $445.82. The actual sales, the dollars for the items sold, what the buyers paid for the items just themselves, $294.70. The buyers also paid $133.31 in shipping, and of course they had to pay some government taxes of $17.81. So let's go ahead and break down the selling costs. Here we have the table for the selling cost fee, and you can see my total selling costs, $102.95. eBay fees, here they show $60.51. Now that is 13%. Well, let's look at the final value fees. So final value fees of $59.56. If you drop down a little bit lower on the chart, $59.56 final value fees. So that's 13% of my total sales, which is right in line with what they normally are. I also had some ad fees, so just $6.07. I paid in ad fees for the week, and that's just 1% of my total sales. And then the number that's really throwing me off here is the shipping labels. So here they have $42.44, which is 10% of my total sales. Typically my shipping label is about 24% of my total sales. So really my shipping label should have been right around $107. So for some reason it's off by about $65. And that's what's basically impacting this report overall. But when we look at the profit for each individual item, those are actually really accurate. So when we add up the profit at the end of the video, you'll see that those numbers are accurate, and they actually do reflect the total shipping costs here and my total profit for the week. So that's a good sign. All right, let's go ahead and look at 5 more items that I sold this week. Here we go. And remember, I still have that one item I'm going to show you that I'm not even sure if it's legal to sell on eBay, and it's sold in one day. We're going to kind of save that towards the end. Okay, so here we have an Armani Exchange, just a regular t-shirt, slim fit. It's got the logo, but it does have Pima cotton, which is a good keyword. But when I did the research on this t-shirt, I thought the brand was interesting. I'd never seen it before. Armani Exchange was interesting, but I saw that these t-shirts had a pretty good sell-through rate at a pretty good price. So this buyer's all in for $26.03. eBay paid me $18.08 for a profit of $15, and this was in my inventory for just over 2 months. This next item is a Marmot jacket, or kind of a rain shell hiking windbreaker jacket. The brand I think is called Precip, Marmot Precip. This is actually selling for way under value, and the reason is because the liner had a bunch of cracking on the inside neck area and the hood, which is pretty common with North Face jackets and Marmot jackets of this style. For some reason, the material that they coated the interior with does crack over time. I've seen a lot of these nice jackets in the bins with those cracking, and they still sell, but the price is way down there. So this is in my inventory for just 2 months, and the buyer is all in for $27.64, and eBay paid me $13.26 for a profit of just $10. This next item is a pair of Jag high-rise skinny jeans, women's size 6. They're brown. This buyer was all in for $24.58. eBay paid me $13.61, and I got a profit of $10. And this was in my inventory for just 1.5 months. Here we have a pair of Prana hiking shorts, women's size 2, and these are actually convertible pants, the kind of pants that have the zip-off legs on the bottom. I found these in the bins, and I think if I remember right, I found one of the legs in the bins, but I couldn't find the other one. So I just tossed the other leg back in the bins, and I sold them as shorts, basically. But I did say that they were convertible pants that were missing the legs, as you can see. But Prana is a good brand, and this buyer's all in for $21.29. eBay paid me $12.12 for a profit of $9. And this was only in my inventory for 1.5 months. Okay, here we have a pair of cargo utility capri pants for women by the brand Helium London. And this buyer was all in for $20.70. eBay paid me $12.57 for a profit of $9. And this was in my inventory for 1.5 months. Okay, so let's switch over and we're gonna look at my metrics for this week. Here we go. Okay, so in building my business, I'm focused on 3 primary metrics. And these metrics came from my goal of building a business that profits $3,000 per month. So I reverse engineered that to try and figure out what it would take to get $3,000 profit per month. So the first thing I focused on was, well, I want to have each item sell for at least $10 of profit. So that's metric number 1, $10 of profit. Then I said, okay, well, how many items do I need to sell in a month in order to do that? Well, obviously, $3,000 divided by $10 profit is 300 items per month, or about 10 items per day. So my goal is to sell about 10 items per day. And I thought, okay, how do I sell 10 items per day? Well, after watching some YouTube videos of others that sell clothing on eBay, it looks like a good or an average sell-through rate for clothing is about 0.5%. So what that means is about 0.5% of the items in their inventory sold every single day. For example, if they had $1,000 in their inventory, they would sell about 5 items per day. So 5 is about 0.5% of 1,000. So if I wanted to sell 10 items per day, I would need to have 2,000 items in my store. So my other goal is to build my store up to 2,000 items by December 1st. So in order to do that, I need to add 50 items to my store every single month, or every single week, sorry, because I had 40 weeks to do this. So, so target number 2, or metric number 2, is adding 50 items to my store. And the final metric is hitting that sell-through rate of 0.5%. So in order to do that, I need to find items that people want. I need to price them correctly and put up some good listings that have good keywords that will attract buyers to those items. So my sell-through rate of 0.5% is my 3rd metric. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into it. So my first metric, did I grow my store by 50 items per month? So I started or 50 items per week. I keep saying that. So I started the week with 675 items in my store, and I ended the week with 714 items in my store. So my store grew by only 39 items. So did I hit that metric? No, I didn't. Wow. So store growth, only 39 items. I did sell 15 items during the week, so I listed a total of 54 items. So I'm down in that area, and I actually have been down for the most of for about 2 or 3 weeks now. I need to kind of kick myself in the rear and get back and get focused on getting my listings done. So metric number 2 is my sell-through rate. In order to determine your sell-through rate, what you do is you take the number of items you sold, divide that by the number of days in the time period you're looking at, and divide that again by the number of items in your store. So in my case, I sold 15 items over 7 days, and I'm dividing that by the number of items in my store at the beginning of the week, which was 675 items. So if you take 15, divide 7, divide it again by 675, you get a sell-through rate of 0.32%. So that's well below my target of 0.5%. I discovered this trend, this downward trend in this metric about 3 weeks ago, or 3 weeks prior to this week. And so about a week before this week, I started to source things. I really started to focus on sourcing things that had better sell-through rates, because I think I was getting lazy in that area. And so over the next couple videos, you'll see some improvement in this area and a lot more items that are selling that I've had in my inventory for a shorter period of time. So I think I'm starting to improve that space, but time will tell. We'll see if I'm making the right decisions. And the final the final metric is $10 profit per item. Was I able to do that? So let's first of all look at my cost of goods sold. So my average cost of goods sold is about $3. My buy cost here to date is about $1.86 per item. And then I have another dollar or so of expenses, for example, for laundry, for boxes to store items in, for shipping labels and ink and plastic bags to store items in. So my typical cost per item sold is about $3. So you can look at my cost of goods of selling 15 items. My total cost of goods is $45. And if you subtract that from the eBay net sales of $325.06, my total profit was $280.06. Again, divide that by the 15 items sold, and I get a profit of $18.67. So well above my target of $10 per item. So that's pretty exciting. All right, so now we're going to dive into 5 more items that I sold. And remember, I still have that one item that I'm not even sure is legal to sell on eBay, but it sold within 1 day. So let's check that out. Okay, so here we have some Talbot's women's jeans, size 12. Kind of their style is the black, is the flawless high waist boot. I also used keywords like curvy and things like that. So this buyer is all in for $30.99. eBay paid me $17.82 for a profit of $15. This next item is Torrid women's pants, and these are size 2, and they have the style is like pixie leggings. They're cropped. This buyer is all in for $31.06. eBay paid me $19.56 for a profit of $16. What's interesting about Torrid is Torrid for me sells really well. This was in my inventory for 1 month, and I'm finding that I pick up a lot of Torrid items. They seem to sell pretty quickly for me. What's funny is you can see that in this listing, almost every word is not capitalized. That's because when I do my listings, I find sold listings, and I basically will sell similar. And if it's just too much trouble, I'm not going to be so OCD that I need to go in and capitalize everything. Although when I do my own listings, I do capitalize the first word or the first letter in every single word. But that's just something that if they have a lot of good keywords in that listing that I'm selling similar as, I'm just going to go ahead and leave it and save myself some time and just change maybe a couple of key things. But I didn't want to go through and capitalize every single word in here in this title like I normally do on the listings that I make. So just kind of an interesting side note. Okay, here we have a Nike Dry Fit women's running shirt. This buyer is all in for $20.74. And eBay paid me $13.20 for a profit of $10. And this item was in my inventory for just 1 month. This item is a Fox Racing. That's the brand, Fox Racing, and it's a flannel shirt. You can see it's just a long sleeve button-down shirt. This buyer's all in for $22.31. eBay paid me $12.38 for a profit of $9. And this is only in my inventory for 1 week. Okay, here we go. This is the item that I was referring to in the beginning of the video. This is a United States Post Office raincoat. It's got a hood. It's by the brand Brookfield. And I actually was not, when I saw this in the bins, I wasn't sure if I should pick it up because I've heard rumors that you can't sell like delivery driver coats and jackets. That would include like UPS, FedEx, and USPS, or the Postal Service. But I did do some research, and I found that there were some listing, and there were a bunch that had sold recently. So I went ahead and did it, and I hope it was okay. But I was shocked. This thing sold within a few hours of being listed for full price. And you can see this buyer is all in for $84.85. eBay paid me $66, and I got a profit of $63 on this item. So let me know in the comments if you have heard other things about delivery driver jackets. I tried to avoid Actually, I didn't. I was thinking I tried to avoid some keywords that might get me in trouble, but you can see I do have USPS, Postal Service, and some of those words that the algorithms might catch if this is an illegal item to sell. But I'm curious, what have you heard about selling delivery truck driver coats and jackets and things like that? I just want to know if it's something I should avoid in the future. So what's interesting about the 15 items that I sold this week is that 13 of those items have been in my inventory for more than 1 month. Only 2 of the items, the last 2, are recent purchases. So I sold a lot of older inventory this week, which is good. And 4 of the 15 items had a profit for less than $10. So that was pretty good as well. The majority of my items had good profit. So when I added up the profit of these 15 items, it came to a total of $228. And if you remember earlier in the video, I had reported a profit of $280. So that's the difference between, I think the eBay report is off by around $50 to $55. It's not capturing some of my shipping label costs. So I think this is my true profit of $228 for the week. Divide that by the 15 items, and my profit per item was still more than 10. It was $15.20 per item. So pretty happy with that. Okay, now let's look at cash flow for the week. So this week I spent $154.01 on purchasing inventory to sell on eBay. I bought a total of 74 items for an average buy cost of $2.08, which is up a little bit from my year-to-date buy cost of $1.86. I think I went to the Goodwill once, and then I bought a bunch of items at garage sales as well. So my cash flow, if you take what eBay paid me and you subtract what I bought for my inventory, my cash flow for the week is positive $171.05. Even if you subtract another $50 because we think that the net sales from eBay was probably inflated by about $50 to $60, my cash flow is still over $100, $111 positive cash flow. So I'm really happy with that. All right, well, I appreciate you watching eBay with Chris. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you want to follow me on this journey of building an eBay business from $0 to $3,000 monthly profit, go ahead and click on the subscribe button right here. And if you want to binge watch eBay with Chris, I encourage you to do that. It's a lot of fun. You get a lot of great content just like this. But go ahead and if you want to If you want to binge watch eBay with Chris, check out this video right here. Thanks a lot, and please remember, if you have any comments or questions, I'd be happy to answer them in the comments below.